Number two reason why we have to thank God is because God hates ingratitude. God hates ingratitude. There are some of you, there are things you have been expecting from God, it hasn't come. God said, keep going. As you are walking with God, there are things God is handling. There are certain level of grace, certain level of power, certain level of favor, certain level of opportunity, certain level of increase that will only come as you progress in your service to God. There are blessings that are tied to your continuous service. Familiarity is what breeds entitlement. Familiarity breeds entitlement. There are many people who are not grateful to God because they think they praise, they think they dance, they think they worship, they think they fast, they think they pray, they think they deserve what they have. They think that all the protection and projection that God has given them, they deserve it. Until you get to that point that you know that you are what you are by the grace of God, it's the mercy of God that has kept you. It's the grace of God that has preserved you. Not by power, not by might, but by my spirit, saith the Lord. Am I communicating right now? Not of him that will let or run it. It's of God that showeth mercy. You are kept by the mercy of God. You are preserved by the mercy of God. You are protected by the mercy of God. You are promoted by the mercy of God. You are projected by the mercy of God. You are honored by the mercy of God. You are lifted by the mercy of God. Not by your power, not by your might. Am I talking to somebody now? Service is going on and you are looking at the time. Your time is not in God's hand. It's his time that is in your hand. God hates ingratitude. Your statement should be God-filled when there is an intervention in your life. Your whole statement should be God-filled. This talk of, I now prayed, I now fasted, I now believed God, it now happened, is sharing glory with God. This talk of, after I prayed and prayed and prayed, after I fasted, I went to the mountain. There are people who have been to several mountains and nothing has come out. It is the grace of God that has bettered the testimony. When you give thanks to God, let it be all about God. When you give honor to God, let it be all about God. I am what I am by the grace of God. I am grateful for life. I am grateful for the breath of life. I'm grateful for God keeping me alive. My body is working. My face is working. My hands are working. My mouth is working. Father, I thank you. In you I live. In you I move. In you I have my being. Father, I thank you. I'm not ungrateful for being alive from January. I'm not ungrateful for being alive in February. I'm not ungrateful for being alive in March. I'm not ungrateful for being alive in April. I'm not ungrateful for being alive in May. I'm not ungrateful for being alive in June. I'm not ungrateful for being alive in July. I'm not ungrateful for being alive in August. I'm not ungrateful for being alive in September. I'm not ungrateful for being alive in October. I'm not ungrateful for being alive in November. I am not ungrateful